Welcome to another episode of That Weird Girl podcast. For those of you who've been watching my show, you know why I chose that name. It's just who I am. I appreciate my weirdness. Happy Juneteenth, everybody! Black girls rock.
Yes, we do. That's my shirt.
And I'm here with multiple beautiful black women today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on the show today. Go ahead and go to my page, share it, share the podcast, let the people know you're on here today.
Oh, you guys got it. I see it.
All right. Also today, if you are tuning into this live, you can get the chance to win a pair of tickets to this Saturday's the Zapp band at the Peoria Riverfront.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. The Zapp. Anybody heard of them? You know
like a
legendary in this picture. David. Hey, win those pair of person. We tag the person with you to the event this Saturday, 7 p.m. at the Peoria Riverfront Museum. It's free tickets to a band at the riverfront. Tag a friend, share it, whatever, but definitely tag the person. When you tag the person, we're going to put you in a hat and we're going to let these beautiful ladies choose who's who. That's simple. All right. So, Juneteenth. Man, I have not seen this much controversy. People hate for us to have anything. Like it's crazy how many negative comments I have seen about Juneteenth. So it is Juneteenth. It's Independence Day. Yeah. Oh, we already have Independence Day. That was the 4th of July. No, we were still slaves. It wasn't the 4th of July. So actually, 2 years past everybody to be slave. I mean, to be free. And we're still not free, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, I'll tell y'all how I feel about that. So y'all know I'll be having to write stuff down because I can't keep all this in my mind. It is a federal holiday. So if they federally recognize it, what's really the problem? Y'all It's an American holiday commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. It marks the day when Union General Gordon Granger announced federal borders and legality in Texas on June 19, 1865, proclaiming that all enslaved citizens and free. The war. After the Emancipation Proclamation back then, had officially freed slaves in the Confederate. That's just the short. That's just the short. We're just going to for the time that we have on here, and to honor Juneteenth, we have Alicia, Miss Juneteenth. These beautiful women are the first. They're both the first pageant winners. They're the first competition winners for Juneteenth. I have a question. I'm going to the Saturday that is Saturday. I got to sleep all day while you guys were competing for these beautiful crowns. I want a crown. So what is like?
You want me? Okay. So there's an application process that you had to complete before being like here's the first step. So there was a link that was put out about Juneteenth pageant. I was doing just to give my mentees, the young girls in my program to inspire them. So I filled it out. It asked some questions about my character, what I do, and then the actual had a evening gown look, a cultural wear look, and then we also had to interview as well in order to qualify to be restricted.
The same thing.
Okay.
How many?
And they also had an on-stage question.
Oh, yeah, and
Don't
an on-stage
forget
question,
the
right,
on-stage.
right.
Yep. So
And the walk, and the walk.
how many well,
It was actually only me, so it was an easy win.
So
now next year.
there were girls who signed up and didn't follow through with continuing, the process. Which we found out
Yes.
which is natural. People, get bashful. People kind of get shy. People kind of, get cold feet.
Right. For
So
sure.
she would have went up against 4 other girls.
Okay.
They're telling us they missed out because you didn't have fun so far.
So that's good to know that. But like compete with them. It's me versus me.
Right?
I like that.
Right.
So we how long to prepare for this event from the date of submitting application to get formal wear to cultural wear, like
I think it was like 2 months. 2 months that it was put out there. Realistically, when did I start preparing? I say 2 weeks before.
Realistically,
I was about to say, ask Amina when she started preparing.
I started preparing, I think like 2 days before. Because I was not fit to do it.
Yeah, me and me were emailing. I was like, "You got this."
Yes.
I told you that too.
Yeah,
I was
I
not
think
the
the day
day
before.
before.
I messaged her. I'm like, I don't even think I got the
That's
dress.
what,
Yes.
I said that to her too. 2 days before, I said the exact same
Mhm.
thing.
so you didn't have to come with your own stuff. You didn't like connect with the designer to give you these things. Okay.
Oh, makeup
No.
artist, dress,
Cultural wear.
hair,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a real.
So maybe if you're actually we would kind of do something like that, especially for cultural wear.
Yeah.
So if you guys know any good cultural people, any designers make good cultural pieces, maybe we can do a fashion show as part of the competition for next year. That'd be kind of cool.
That's what she got on the cue.
Yeah.
I know this is a nice little number. I love a good off the shoulder
Real
piece
cute.
too.
Thank you.
So what's the age range for Miss Teen?
It was 15 to 19 years old. I was a teenager, and if you're 19, you have the chance to debate if you want to go for teen or miss.
Okay.
So 15 is the youngest we're starting off with.
Okay. Then how did you determine 15 for the age?
Kind of wanted to do with kids. I like that. I do. I think naturally, because Amina's 17, so they have more autonomy with their schedule. When you deal with someone who's younger, which is why I'm thinking about having kids part of the package, you got to deal with parents too, and the logistics of getting kids to events. Like we've been pretty much almost at every meeting, yeah. And so it's easier because she can drive, and she's almost turning 18, so it makes their schedules a little bit more easier.
Okay.
That's why I said 15. I want them in high school too, and there's also a scholarship attached to it too. So I want the money to go towards educational or business endeavors.
Okay. How much of the scholarship is attached to it?
So it's called the Nancy Leggins Costa Scholarship. This year, my goal was to give out more than I was actually able to. I had sponsors who, but we're looking for sponsors for next year too. So
That's something better than nothing. Look, it's hard out here, especially when you go to college and even if you get grants, even if you get a free ride, life will be life. So
I'm in college, but I got real bills.
right.
real deals.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about what we've been doing. I really enjoy watching and outside of Miss Juneteenth, before then you were already active, so that's great. I was so happy that you won, not even knowing what all it entailed. But I was, oh, she deserved that. So she gave flowers and got her flowers.
Thank you.
So what's your 17? Haven't graduated high school yet. Okay, turn up 17 to graduate. Where you graduate from?
Peoria High.
Okay, turn So what's in the future? What you got going on?
And just really going from there. I'm only 17, so I'm still trying to figure out life myself. But before beauty pageants, I was doing modeling and getting myself out there through that way. But yeah, I just want to further my career with beauty and other things. And I want to do nursing too. I don't know if it's my thing.
No problem. You got to look this. Let's see. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but what I am gonna say is, as old as I am, I have had different careers. I did home pharmacy. I've done taxes. I've done like so much. So you don't have to limit yourself. Go to cosmetology school. Let that help you pave the way. Still go get your nursing. You can, you know what I'm saying? Do both of them. You can be a nurse for other people. Be like those traveling nurses. Like traveling. Yeah. It's all good.
It's about school.
Mhm. You can go to I was a parent for Head Start. There was a lady, I will never remember her name, but she was a lot older, and that's when I realized you can do everything that you want to do because
Karen J. Wilson says, "Happy Juneteenth, beautiful ladies," and she also says, "Go to junior college."
go to junior college.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Like an IC community college.
Yeah. And don't they still have the initiative where it's free if you yeah.
I don't think I missed the deadline.
But you, I think you can still do it like later.
I do want to say hi to Miss Karen.
That's what I was about to say.
She was at the pageant.
She's
so
everywhere. I love
praise
her.
Thank you for watching. We love her.
Hi, Miss Karen.
Hi, good friend. If you want to win free tickets to this weekend event, it's at 7 p.m. Let's tag a friend. If I don't get any
It's at the
friends,
restaurant, right?
yep, it's at the riverfront. We're gonna have to find some of that. Try to find some of that music so we can let the people hear what they're going to ticket to.
Is it Zapp and Roger? I mean, I know Roger, but it's the same. They one and the same, right? Zapp and Roger with Zapp as the Queen. Hey, Roger.
Ain't that old school music?
Yeah, it's
not computer love.
And they got a.
I don't know.
We don't know anything about these people. We don't know.
I did not do my
The name sounds.
I have an older
out.
soul. I think Zapp with two P's.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I want to give away these free tickets, courtesy of Strictly Hip Hop 90.7. Like their page, you know that's what I listen to when I had a car.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Yeah. Let's see what they got going on real quick. Is it a group of band? Is it a group of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
It was only one man. Yeah.
One band?
I thought it was, I want to be a man.
It do say the Zapp. It don't say band.
Oh,
It say
it's,
the-
don't say band?
Mm-mm.
Then I think we talking about the same people.
Tell me him in the mic because that's him.
It say the new Zapp 4
Oh, maybe he reinvented
with
himself.
special guest Devon Phillips.
Hold on. Okay. Can I make you dance? This is Can I Make You Dance?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know the song. Another one bites the dust, I think.
That's what it's called, right?
Oh, no.
I never read that song.
I think that's another one bites the dust.
That's what it sounds like.
Y'all gonna
but-
want these tickets.
Right, y'all gonna want these tickets.
Either way, live music at the riverfront.
They
is nice.
did. I thought.
They did do computer
They
love.
did.
Computer
I know,
love.
right?
Okay, look, we
So are
gotta
we
have a
eligible for
trivia.
these free tickets?
He said, "Are you eligible?"
Are we eligible? Yeah.
Tag a friend in the comments. Tag who
I'm a-
you will
I'm a-
bring.
I'm
We
gonna tag
gonna write
Alicia.
down the name. We gonna pull from
I'm
the
a-
hat.
I'm a
If y'all
tag.
the only people. Yeah, you get it how you live.
Oh my.
We got 3 pairs of tickets. That's 6 tickets.
6 of them.
Tag a friend.
6.
Who do you want to take? Courtesy of Strictly Hip Hop.
Girl, why did you not
Thank
tag me?
I tag my mama.
You're so silly.
And you know,
It's okay because I was going to do the same thing.
People always saying there's nothing to do with Peoria.
Nice.
There's nothing to do with Peoria.
And
I
it'd be
kind of watch it
plenty
in
to do
Peoria.
in
Yeah, I'm always
Peoria.
outside.
Now I saw
Yeah.
some people share on Facebook how they wish the parade would have been today. And I have to
nice.
admit, you know, with us holding the Sabbath on Saturday, I miss so much. Now we could have went to Juneteenth like to observe, but really not because it's supposed to be a day of rest. So that meant I would have had to get out of the bed. I don't get out the bed on Saturday. Did I get out the bed this Saturday, babe? I ain't get out the bed at all. I just laid there. I get tired. Like I do so much. But and plus it's a day of rest. Like I've learned to enjoy those. And so I think it really would be dope in Peoria if we could have something like on Juneteenth, something. Is there anything going on today?
Yeah, there's a few things. There's something at the riverfront, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today.
What's going on at the riverfront?
People are getting together. Bring your own everything. Everything. From
Bring
the
your
chair to the table, from the grill to the meat, from the sides to the drinks. Like, bring your own everything. But people are kind of conjugating at the riverfront.
And then tonight, the Contemporary Art Center has Preston Jackson, another artist, his daughter Alice T, and Ryan Laurie from Whisper and Shout are doing something at 6:30 to 8:30.
I didn't know.
They're having a celebration there. This is 4th annual, so they must have been doing it.
And that's at the Peoria Riverfront Museum?
This is the Contemporary Art Center.
Oh, the Contemporary Art Center.
Yeah.
So
the Riverfront Museum been doing things too. So it's been a week-long celebration.
Okay.
As far as like just the day of. It's been a week-long celebration.
I guess I'm just tapped in with the Yanni Collective. I see them on everything. Like I know what they're doing. I need to get in tune with everybody else too. And it's funny you say 4th annual because I had to go on my memories on Facebook, and about 2019 was the first time I shared something going on in Peoria for Juneteenth. And I don't think I knew what it was then. I think I was just sharing it because from when I was on Facebook, it was from Jessica Thomas. Shared it from her. And 2020, I shared like a little bit more detailed posts. So still didn't know what Juneteenth was. 2021, when I was down in Arkansas, that's when I really understood what it was and participated. I'm so happy that it's growing the way that it is. You know, I read the comments and you know people on Facebook like the South stopped fighting for that a long time ago. In a federal holiday.
I think one thing that's missing is the fact that we know about it up here in Illinois doesn't mean it wasn't being celebrated in Texas. There's actually a lady, Miss Opal Lee, who has been fighting for Juneteenth to become a federal holiday nationwide. So Texas had it as a holiday for a long time. And if you look up Opal Lee, she's a very historic lady. She got the Presidential Medal of Honor from Obama. And she's a Texas historian, and she was fighting for Juneteenth to be a federal holiday for decades. And now that it's official, her work is kind of like done. She's probably like 90 years old, but she's one of the people who was like the founding mothers of the Juneteenth holiday.
What's up?
He was, and Chanel Murray saying, "Happy Juneteenth, Queens."
Happy Juneteenth.
This is the main one.
Right now.
So, look for Miss Juneteenth. What they got going on? Where can people spread their light?
Right now is you can see them on Facebook if you guys want to follow their journeys. Peoria's Miss Juneteenth is the Facebook accounts, and then Lindsay has been very active on the Facebook account doing Monday motivation.
Yeah, so I've just been trying to use the Miss Juneteenth platform to just inspire others. If I get something dropped in my spirit, I try to say it to if it can encourage other people. Also, yesterday I went to Decatur and kind of spoke to their juvenile reentry program. And then what's coming up next Sunday is I go to East St. Louis to speak for a suicide awareness event. So yeah.
What time would that be in St. Louis?
East St. Louis.
East St. Louis, 3 to 5.
Okay.
It starts at 3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in St. Louis
Really?
this weekend. That's why I asked. I'm
Yeah,
leaving on
it's-
Friday.
It's
so.
next Sunday, on the 30th.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll be traveling there to speak to them as well.
Okay. And is that as far as the reaches? We're staying in Illinois because it's
There are other Juneteenth queens in other cities.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those cities reached out to Alicia personally. But also, Amina is competing for Miss Illinois Juneteenth, the statewide competition next month in July. And then the national competition is going to be held in Illinois for the very first time. It's usually held in Philadelphia. So that's where, so what happens right now, what's happening in Illinois is that a lot of cities are crowning their own Miss Juneteenth, which is what people usually do in the South. And then they're all competing to represent the state of Illinois. And then the person from Illinois is going to represent Illinois for the national competition.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really big deal. And that's not okay. So now we're preparing for.
How long has there been a national Miss Juneteenth competition?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
Okay, no, you're fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, look what's going on. National competitions for Juneteenth. It's not a real holiday, or trying to down talk those who are wanting to celebrate it and acknowledge it. But there's a national competition, like we didn't create, you know.
They ate us. WMBD, they ate us.
But I came to your defense. My post.
Yes, I did. But you know what? I would have never eat them together.
Honestly, it's so good. My favorites, actually.
And you know what? And so you need to school people that you should not eat fruit and any other food together at the same time because it does not digest well. So it's a factual and like it's just an option. But we do know that at the 9 tonight, which camera is on me? From my R. Kelly. Is this camera on me? The 9 is having chicken waffles today to celebrate Juneteenth. So head on down there. I think it's open right now.
It is.
I think it's for the better part of the night. So support Black businesses, and we're gonna mix these chicken and waffles together.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be ashamed of what our culture consumes. And you know, that's one thing that I hop into the comment section to kind of tell people about what was happening with the pageant and why it was necessary. And I can read you the actual thing that I said too. But ultimately, pageants were created because the Miss America system, which began in 1920.
Oh yeah, I read that comment.
Had a rule number 7 is the infamous rule number 7 that said you have to be of the white race. And it said that verbatim, of white race to compete in this pageant. And it wasn't until 60 years later in 1983 when Vanessa Williams was able to be crowned Miss America. And we know Vanessa, she was the first Black woman to win. So it took 60 years for them to even accept Black women and then for one to be crowned. And the Miss America pageant is the oldest pageant around, you know, that they started pageantry. So people were asking, why is there a Miss Juneteenth and where are the other ones at? And there's 2 things I can say to that. 1, create your own. We did it. Create your own. But 2, there are other pageants for other cultures too. You'll see St. Patrick's Day is the best example. They have their own Irish queen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And they'll say of Irish descent. And you know, and they go back and forth in Ireland over their own nationalities over there too. So there are other cultures that have queens. The Native Americans have one as well. So you can't be mad that we decided to do something for us by us.
Period.
And I feel like we can be if Kay Woods is still watching, her favorite words, unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Because why do I have to include you? We've been excluded for how long? And because we get Miss Juneteenth, y'all want to step to us about a pageant?
No, for real.
What?
Yes.
When we gotta make sure we have her IDs and stuff on our lap?
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to
Yeah,
explain to
right.
you why I wear a crown and
she's not
sash. I don't. And I was real nice because I heard at the comments because it's obvious that y'all need some love. Y'all do. Because it really made me mad. Like, are y'all serious? And it was a lady in the comments going crazy over, but this is a pageant for
Michelle?
Black.
What's her name? Michelle?
She did. I did. For Black women and white. I love white women. I do. And I'm not excluding and looking, but please don't try to take from us.
Right.
But also I think the most important part,
What's the comment? My bad.
Ms. Wilson says, create your own table when they won't let you sit down, uncut and apologetic.
Yes, and at this time, this table is full.
But I also think that it's important to just say, because I compete in pageants all the time, Black women weren't really winning pageants until 2016, to be honest. And in order to win a pageant up from 1983 really to 2016, you had to have straight hair and you had to have a European centric look to you. If you look at Vanessa Williams, even her win was controversial because she got her crown taken away from her because of something that other women were doing at the time. And so we still aren't at an even playing field, you know, even naturally. I competed in braids for the very first time 3-4 weeks ago, you know, and I didn't place top 20. And I can't say because the hair per se, it was actually these braids. And I can't, well, they look better. And I can't say per se that was the reason, but you also in pageants, you have judging panels, and I can talk about this all day. You have judging panels that are not diverse. There was one Black woman on the panel, and you know, she was cool, but like that's one person out of 5 judges, you know, and when you are having a pageant that has integrity, those scores are weighed. So if she gives me a 10 and then someone else gives me a 6 because they don't understand my look, then that is going to outweigh itself, allowing someone else to come through. So the pageant industry as a whole needs to understand that we have our own. We have Miss Black America, which I competed in. We have Miss Black USA, which I competed in. And there's Miss Black United States, which is making a research because it gives us an even playing field from the jump. I don't have to worry about wearing an afro or wearing my hair straight in this pageant. I don't have to worry about, is my skin too dark to win? Is my skin too light to win these pageants? It allows us to be at an even playing field. We could do spoken word for a talent. If I did spoken word Miss America stage, might be looked at cross-eyed because they don't understand what I'm doing. If I did praise dancing on Miss America stage, it might not score as high. So these pageants are really for us, by us, because they have a diverse judging panel, but also someone Black is going to be guaranteed to win. So your race is not a factor.
And I was going to say, like, I experienced a conflict at work, and me and my coworker, we're tight now, but like she's, you know, Caucasian, Black. And sometimes we don't, like, although we may have the same outlook a little bit, it's going to be different because we're different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to segregate, but there's some things that are different, and I can accept your differences. That don't mean we have to do exactly the same thing. Our pageant can be our pageant, your pageant can be your pageant, and sometimes we can mix them sometimes. But like if it's separated, that doesn't mean, you know, like you can't take from that. It's differences, and that's okay. You have to be able to embrace that. Like
And also I do want to mention there is a pageant out here in Peoria that's coming up, and they never crown anybody Black. And they never crown anyone Black at all. And so that doesn't mean the person hasn't competed. And they're giving away 3 titles, amongst the team and amongst the little girls. And you have Black contestants, but they never win. And so it's like if we do, you know, compete in these systems, what are the odds of us winning? And that's the problem. And then we're always the first to do something. We shouldn't be the first to do something in 2024. But unfortunately, and then, like I said, create your own. If you want to see Miss Celtic, she was Celtic, I'm gonna call her out. If you want to see a Miss Celtic queen, find your own Independence Day and create a Celtic queen of Peoria pageant.
Oh, we need to do a Miss Israelite pageant. But you know, every single diversity in pageants and the hardships that can go with the theme of today being Juneteenth. You know, well over 2 years, people were free and they had people enslaved. Like that just shows like they don't want us to be free. And you know, I watched 12 Years a Slave. Ever since I watched that movie, I was like, yo, because you know, I didn't know that there were like people who were already free that was in the wrong place at the wrong time and then got enslaved. Like that's crucial. Like it's one thing to be born a slave and be in it, but to be a free man and to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and you get enslaved and you fighting for your freedom for 12 years, you lose your can't find your family for 12 years.
Yeah,
man. Like,
We out.
Yeah.
I did not watch that.
I like the movie.
The Kiki Palmer.
It
No.
was somebody.
No.
It was.
It was. And on the other side, like everybody else was free, but they didn't know that they passed the law for them to be free, so they were still doing that slaves. Until she ran away,
She went to the other side, and she
Yeah.
discovered the whole other.
and she came back and burned out.
Seriously, as we are today, would all of us, everybody answer the question, would you have made it as a slave? Like, do you think you would have been docile, or would you have fought?
Let it go.
I
think that question is kind of unfair to ask, because we can say, yeah, no, I would have fought back, but you got to think of the torture mechanism that they had. And once you visit some of these museums, you'll see things that they had, and then you also see that people who did try to leave, they made examples out of. You know, you have things that they did like bucking for Black men, which was, you know, inhumane and embarrassing. And then you also have women who were raped in certain ways, and you have the chambers where they burned them. And so it's okay to say, like, today, yeah, I would have fought, but we don't know what that looked like. And we know examples of people who did try to fight and didn't make it. And then we see examples of people who did try to run away. So I think that is not to say like that's not a good question, but I think it's unfair because we don't know what we would have done given the circumstances. Especially if you would have been born into it, then it would have been everyday life. You probably wouldn't have even known life outside of it.
For it and stuff like that.
Oh no, that's why it's because I mean, you gotta think about it. There were people that did fight, and I feel like we all know in our spirit if we are fighting, what type of person we are, because those people back then, like, they didn't know, you know, they just knew, like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah. I know that's a problem.
If I would have been, clearly I'm light skinned with green eyes, I would have had it easy. I just would have been, I clearly would have been in the house. I'd have been in the house.
But you also got to consider you were the child bearer, so you probably would have been on your 15th pregnancy with an 8 white man, you know. So you got to consider the house people didn't have it any better just because there was AC, and there was no AC, and so that's something that you also got to consider too. Like, the house people were raped even more because you were pretty and because they needed to keep their ultimately their money going, because we were money, we were currency, and so you needed to keep birthing men so that way they can keep their plantation going.
I get what you're saying, Brett, and I do agree with that. But me and my hearts of all hearts, you know, God created people for a reason, right? Everybody has a purpose. That's why Harriet Tubman was born, and all these people that came in and set the foundation for what we have today. That's why they were born. And even still today, we have modern day Harriet Tubmans and people who fight and stand up for what's right too. So I feel like, me being me, I see a problem, and if it's wrong, I can't go with it. I can't go with it. If I know that something needs to be done, like, I'm gonna try to figure it out. So I would like to have said that I would have been one of the ones to try to find a way around it to help my people. But based off how it was for me as a child, when my mom brought out a fly swatter, I died. So if they would have brought out something to beat me, I probably would have folded. But seriously, I would have wanted to be like Harriet Tubman to, like, you know, regardless, I'm gonna risk it all. That's how I feel now. Like, I'm gonna risk it all to reach where I'm trying to go. Like, everything, I put everything, I risk it all. Whatever I gotta do to get where I'm trying to go. And that's how they felt. And they was enslaved. I say this all the time. Physically, they were enslaved. Mentally, she was free. That's all it takes. You can tell me I'm enslaved all you want to. You can try to stop me, but, like, I'm a child of God. I got God with me. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's how I feel about it.
All praise.
And I think you also got to consider this was 400 years. So this wasn't just one generation.
For sure.
You know, and it was people who was born into it, who gave kids, whose grandkids were also in this position. You know, I think that's really hard to kind of discount what they kind of went through, because they also probably did try to escape, or they probably didn't understand what was happening.
Mhm.
And then it's psychological warfare too. Is why they do try to break you down,
For sure.
you know. And so it's like, I think what's also important is to realize that Harriet left solo, and then she realized she could do it, so she came back and tried again, and then she succeeded the second time. But it was ultimately a suicide mission for her and those enslaved every single time. So you're choosing to die ultimately. If you're trying to escape, you're choosing, okay, I'm okay with dying, you know. So yeah.
Man. And that's
I'm just here, y'all saying some real good stuff. I'm just listening, y'all. I'm agreeing though.
I mean, I would have made lipstick out of.
Or
I kind of agree with what you said. I mean, like, yeah, if somebody brought something out to me, I'm this little. Like, am I really gonna?
I'm this
Am I really
little.
gonna take that pain? Like, am I really gonna take that pain? But the me how I am now, yeah, I don't even play about me. I would have fought.
Yeah.
I would have fought.
What do you mean go pick cotton? Who's cotton? This bug? Now listen, I probably got beat because
I
if
would've
it's
said
a bee
no.
over there, you
I'm not
probably
going.
got
I'm sorry.
A bee?
Yes. What?
You can rob me with a bug. I know I'm not going.
And I really asked that question because really, in today's age, we still have modern slavery. And
Yes, we do.
your answers really represented what I expected from each of you for the simple fact that you do live that life.
Mhm.
You do live that, you know what I'm saying? We do all currently today, like you said, the best thing is that mentally it's all in the mind.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
we're all, right now we're all fighting every day, you know, breaking through, setting standards. The very first
Period.
Peoria
Period.
Miss Juneteenth. Like, what are you talking about? Compete with who? Me versus me. So I mean, like, and you had to.
What competition?
And you had help. You had your Harriet. No, girl, come on.
Yeah,
Come do
for
this.
sure.
You worth it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I kind of asked that question, because it still correlates today, you know.
Yeah.
But Brett is right, you know. It is that you used right where it's unfair to ask that question because we're not in the time of but we are. We have the worst standards. We have food deserts right here in Peoria. We have bus routes that don't touch the places they need to go. There's no bus that goes past the cityscape. How they supposed to get to or from work? All the people don't have cars. Like they still trying to hold us back.
And slavery is looked at as, oh, I got shackles on me and I'm walking with chains and somebody's standing over. No, you're a slave to your mental health because you're not trying to heal. You're a slave to those generational curses that you're not trying to break. Like, it's multiple different ways of slavery, and you allow yourself to be enslaved when you don't overcome or not ready to break out of that. But once you like, okay, this isn't for me, and I'm gonna start doing my healing, then that's when you can break free and you can start helping people that's coming behind you. So modern day slavery is not just coming from the white man or the government.
Yeah.
You are putting yourself in slavery too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Hey man, I don't see no comments. I don't see nobody tagging a friend. Y'all don't want these free tickets courtesy of Strictly Hip Hop. I might have to do this another day. I might have to like do a live tomorrow or something. I want y'all to, maybe I'll pull up on y'all and like, pick a name. What? I mean, it looks like we about to go see the Zapp thing.
Yes, and sing all 2 songs that we know.
Tag a friend. Come on, get these tickets. We only got about
10, 15.
About 15 more minutes before we gonna have to get up out of here. I'm not trying to hold everybody up. I love the conversation. These women are so busy with their schedule. I called in sick today. I'm so busy too.
You're so silly. you need a day.
It's Juneteenth. Wait a minute. You called in sick to work?
Yeah.
Wait, it's open?
Yeah.
Your job open?
Yeah. Yeah, it's open. She knew. I told her. I'm not coming to work. She said, call in sick. She told me.
As you should. But as you should, because it's a federal holiday. Any other federal holiday is off. Yeah. And you should get paid time and a half if you did work today.
I think that's
legally
weird. Like, how can something be a federal holiday and then like
places are
the
still open?
States don't recognize it? Because like, we don't celebrate Christmas, but I get off for Christmas. I don't care about no dang on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. If you don't work at a hospital, you can't close the hospital, so it's understandable.
Right.
Yeah. And
As
other
far
than
as
that,
fast foods and stuff like that be closed on Christmas and
but let them
other
off
stuff.
early or something like
or
that.
let them off
Yeah.
early. Like that's still a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah. I feel like
That's right. It is weird.
There you go with the sound.
Yeah.
They're doing that. I forgot we have all that stuff.
It's sound effects a little bit.
I know, right?
So we got Bianca Thomas, Nikki. I'm at work on Juneteenth. Man.
Where you work at, baby?
We about to call in a.
Okay.
No, let me stop.
Oh no!
You want me to
not do that?
Hey, look, I'm good for family emergencies. If you need me to call you,
Right, call us. We'll
Me
tell
too.
you that we about to give
Yeah.
birth or something at the hospital.
No,
and you
I
can
ain't
pull up
even
right
gonna play
now.
around with no type of pregnancy, so I will not be saying nothing about no
Right.
I would say, hey, we
It's a
know
no
the
for
baby's
me.
coming right now. Gotta leave for it.
Amina, how has this experience been for you?
It's been very good. Like I feel like I'm getting more exposure than what I was already getting, and I'm being around new people that can help me grow and further my career and stuff. And it's I feel like in a way it's making me smarter because all these interviews I have to do, like I've been learning big words, and I am y'all seriously like I'm so not good with talking to people. So I feel like I've been getting better. Like it's a good experience. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Good.
We still have a whole year to go.
Exactly. Still have a whole year to go.
So when they do it next year, you're gonna have them take the crown off the crown of the next person. The next
Not,
one?
we're not gonna actually do it like that. They're gonna keep the crown. We'll have a new
Oh.
crown for another person.
Oh, okay.
So they will crown someone, literally,
Okay.
figurative, but it's not gonna be their crown.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna be good.
So you gotta tell all your friends, man. Tell them to try for next year. Get them ready for next year.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
Next year they can be. I think they can still be Miss or teens because we still gonna be in our 19s or our 18s. Someone gonna be 19, but
I want to see a bigger turnout for the Miss Teens, man. I think that'd be real good. How many was it for Miss Juneteenth?
It was another beautiful girl. Her name is Italy.
She was great.
Yeah, she
Italy was good, and she looked
really
good, too.
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 2 of them?
Yes, but it was supposed to be
Dang.
5. I'm telling you, you had a lot more people interested than those who actually followed through and executed.
Do you think that it was the requirements that caused people to?
No, I think it's just pageantry as a whole is new to the area, so people didn't kind of know what exactly to expect.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think because even like Amina was asking if she wear a poofy dress, and I was like, no, please, please don't wear no poofy dress. But I think as pageantry becomes more infiltrated into the culture here, which is what I'm trying to do, I think people will kind of understand all that it takes to do it because they fill out the application in full, and people give out some beautiful reasons why they want to be it. I think it takes a lot to compete in a pageant because you have multiple categories. You have wardrobe, you have makeup, and you have to make sure all those ducks are in a row. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have the support system at home, because this one was free to enter, the one I did cost a lot of money. I paid $1,500 to compete in a pageant 2 weeks ago. And
I don't win nothing,
baby. Well, I'm taking everything with me.
I'm really here with something.
That's
so
my crown.
I think it's more work on me to try to make sure the girls are 100% ready to go, and have pretty much have everything organized.
Who were the judges for Miss Juneteenth?
We had fabulous judges. Jaleesa Allen was our judges coordinator, so she had Mrs. Dawn Hawks. She's the president. She's the principal at Manual High School.
Okay.
We had Kiera Randolph. She is the current Miss Bloomington Normal.
Okay.
For the Miss America system. We had Sheridan, who is the anchor at WMBD.
Okay.
Was it just them 3?
Yeah,
and then we
Renita
had
Wyatt.
and our head judge was Renita Wyatt, who is the mother of Tora Wyatt, who was Tiny Miss Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had 3 judges and a head judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had very accomplished women, and I think it's going to be beautiful.
How many people we got to put in this hat to pull?
Actually, we got 3 people. We got Amina Monet, Brett Brooks, and Alicia Boyce.
Wow.
No
Is
way.
that fair? Like, should we keep this like giving people
ethical or different? Is it ethical? I don't think so. Is it fair? They should have commented.
I mean, but yes, and so based on the rules and those who execute it, this is what I'm talking about with the pageants. Based on the rules that you laid out in the beginning of the podcast, and they tag, they can do it. So.
And unlike Miss Juneteenth, this was open to everyone.
And it's free. You don't want free.
Oh man.
AJ is watching. Hey AJ.
Hey,
Love AJ.
Courtesy of Strictly Hip Hop. I mean, Do we just tell them thank you now for y'all tickets? They wanted me to do it on live during the show. I'm doing it live during the show. I keep saying.
And Strictly Hip Hop will be our next stop too for the girls too.
Okay.
So we appreciate Mark Supreme, and I've been a Bafa over there too. Yeah. I do want to talk about the pageant for next year. Can I talk about the pageant
Yes,
next year?
sure. Go ahead.
I do want to mention one thing too. I mentioned this in all my interviews because I think it's so important. I want to keep this person name around.
Yep.
Nancy Leggins Costley is who this pageant is empowered by. What you say?
Because I knew it was coming.
It just hurts my heart that she's not up there with Harriet Tubman when we think about in Rosa Parks, when we think about people who are historical figures. So I can tell you haven't been watching my news reports. I'm just kidding. I report on her like 10 times.
I haven't.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So Nancy Leggins Costley was the first person Abraham Lincoln helped free from enslavement here in Illinois. She grew up kind of in East St. Louis. It was called Kaskaskia, Illinois. And then she migrated up this way. And so she was a maid for a majority of her life. She was born into becoming a maid. It's actually a very interesting story because Kaskaskia at the time was the capital of Illinois. And so she was ultimately a maid in the same house that the Illinois Constitution was made.
Okay.
And so because of that, she had her little tea plate. And so she was able to eavesdrop on the founding fathers of Illinois when they made the Illinois Constitution. And because of that, she knew there was a loophole to her being enslaved and how to get out of enslavement, which was in Illinois, because it was not a slave state, to get out of it, you had to just say no. You had to consent to being enslaved, ultimately. And so when they asked her, so she knew that because she was a maid, right? And it's interesting. So she was literally eavesdropping as Constitution being made. Cool. So at 13 years old, she went out to Abraham Lincoln, who at the time was 23 years old. And so he was in a war, and he had his second largest law office in Metamora. So he had to walk past ultimately what was Nancy's house with his horses and his soldiers to go to Metamora from Springfield. And so at 13, she asked him to help her fight legally for her freedom. So she went to court in the district court first, and they said, "Do you want to be a slave?" And she said, "No." And they said because she's 13, they didn't want to let a 13-year-old black woman just be free because anything could happen to her. So she needed to be under the care of a white person. And so she was underneath the care of a guy, Costley. He was a drunkard, and he ended up dying. And so then she went back to court with Abraham Lincoln. A couple of years later, they asked her, "Do you want to be a slave?" And I think she was like 18 or 17. And she said no. And then they said, because you're a woman, because women also didn't work at this time, because you're a woman, you need to be underneath the care of a man. So she found a man. His name was Benjamin, and that was her husband, a black man. And that was her husband, but she still wasn't free legally on paper. And so then finally they went to the Illinois Supreme Court. The case happened at the Illinois Supreme Court. And this is 10 years later. So she's 23 and Abraham Lincoln is 32. And the Illinois Supreme Court, she said, "Do you want to be a slave?" And they said, no. She said no. And so they finally was able to grant her freedom because she was of age and because she was married to a man at the time. So Abraham Lincoln freed her, and then they grew up together. Nancy Lincoln, 23 and 32 years old. So he went past her house and watched her kids grow up. Fast forward, though he becomes president, he signs the proclamation, and they think that Nancy and her kids and Abraham Lincoln watching them grow up single-handedly convinced Abraham Lincoln to become the abolitionist and to become the Abraham Lincoln that we know today, this man who fought for our on paper. We still don't really give Lincoln all his praise yet. But Nancy single-handedly helped change Abraham Lincoln's mind to later sign the proclamation. And then last thing, Nancy's son, William Costley, was present in the Illinois Supreme Court on that third time when they granted her freedom. And her son, William Costley, was also present in Dallas, Texas in 1865 when the last slaves were free by the Illinois Infantry 19th Unit. So he was there when his mom was free, and he was there when the last slaves were free. So, and then she grew up in Pekin. This all happened in Pekin. And we know Pekin has a long. And apparently the historians that I say, Pekin loved Nancy because she was an entrepreneur. And so they loved Nancy. And then she was buried at Memphis Cemetery, and you can actually pinpoint exactly where she's at. She's underneath a parking lot. So Moffett Cemetery is on the corner of Southwest Adams and Jefferson. There's a memorial dedicated just to her and the 2,000 other people who are also buried at Moffett Cemetery. And they actually know where she is buried at. But there was also 5 men present at the original Juneteenth in Galveston, Texas. William was one, Nathan Ashby was another one. And they heard the story 1,000 times.
That's crazy. The first time I ever heard this
Was me.
no,
Oh.
you're saying yeah, she's buried
Yeah,
right under the parking lot.
She is. Right now, if you go past that, you'll see it's a union. It has a union building, and this is the Wonder Bread. So if you're driving on Jefferson, headed towards downtown, on the left-hand side, you'll see like a whole industrial area, and you'll see like a Wonder Bread truck. If you walk further, you can find her. They have the whole, because back in the day, that whole cemetery went out of business in 1905, and they kept some of the bodies there. Some of the other bodies they put in the Illinois River.
Wow.
And so they believe Nancy and Nathan Ashby's bodies and bones are still buried underneath that parking lot. But now it's land owned by those companies.
That's crazy. Now you're gonna have me researching graveyards and what they do with bodies after they
Right.
Because they
we just put that in Illinois, and then we wonder why everybody think that there's a cloud over Peoria when you enter it, or that there's something holding everybody in. We throwing people's bodies in the river, like no respect for the dead,
all.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'll never park there. So,
Yeah.
like,
And it's only because Moffett Cemetery was owned by a guy whose last name was Moffett. I think it was Adam Moffett. So it was a private cemetery,
Right.
and it was mainly where a lot of the soldiers at the time were buried at. And then they wasn't taking care of the cemetery, and then it became overrun. And so the city of Peoria said we need to do something with it, and that's when they got rid of the bodies.
oh, they got rid of
Some of the bodies. There was 2,000 bodies, 2,000 some odd bodies buried there. They're not 100% sure how many are left, but based off historical records, you can see which plot belonged to who. And so you can find Nathan Ashby's plot and Nancy's plot.
probably the scares me and be like, what's that?
Don't even.
You know what? We should drive past there, take a picture.
I still want to put their names in a cup and have them draw
Look at
for fun sake.
Okay.
Okay.
It's right around the
Also,
corner.
Miss Felicia Robinson says, wow, that's something. She likes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Felicia.
I can go on a whole tangent, Charles.
It's showing a Facebook post.
We
going
about to
around that
wrap this up.
I know, yeah.
I shared it.
I really
I
don't want to
should-
even call her. I would like to say Nan's leggings, not Costly. Because Costly was her.
Yeah.
That's her, yeah.
Well, no, Cox was her. Costley
Oh.
was her husband's name.
Oh,
Her black-
I thought you
But
said
the black
Yeah,
name was
yeah.
Costley. Cox was, I gotta make sure that's right. Yeah. William Costley, her husband, that's
Okay.
his last name. Cox was her slave name. Yeah. It's fun facts. Fun facts. But also one thing to know is that she was well taken care of from what I can tell. She wasn't a slave in the sense that we know it. She was a maid.
Like it.
She was a maid.
Okay.
So the guys who were over her legally were only over her because of the court system.
Okay.
The guy who ended up dying, the drunk, he took care of her. I don't think she was. It was just on paper she was legally enslaved, but he also was an abolitionist too, which is part of the reason why I think he died. They think that something happened because he was on horseback and he was drunk, but they think someone killed him. So yeah, so she was taken care of.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was also Illinois,
good
so
to
you
know.
couldn't do all the things you could do in the South of here.
Oh, makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
You want me to put
still
the
like
names
that
in the
now.
cup?
Yeah, so that's why she was a maid.
I can go to the
Thanks.
cup. Not bad.
I still wanna keep it like still do
Official.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I want it to seem like I just
Tell Felicia and Shamba they're watching, and AJ to tag somebody
Yeah,
with it.
tag somebody want to take to this. Let me put it in here, man.
The
Look,
Led
y'all could
Zeppelin.
get a ticket to
Zapp.
this. Y'all could get a ticket to this show. It's not letting me. Sometimes I just hate phones. Yeah, man, it'd be like it don't even really do what you want it to do. tag who you want to take to this show, guys. You get a free ticket. I'm finna post it. I think I posted it.
Oh, okay.
We got one more.
Tagging.
You got another person.
Okay, yeah. Tag somebody.
Okay.
There you go, Felicia. There we go. Tag somebody. Tag who you want to take. Ah, man. Got Obama. All right. Thank y'all for
wait,
coming.
one last thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention the pageant for next year.
Yeah.
So the date for the pageant is going to be in May.
Okay.
Because I feel like you guys are kind of rushed. So the pageant will be in May at the Carver Center in 2025. If people are interested in competing, reach out to either me on Facebook, Brett Brooks, or you can email Miss Juneteenth Peoria at gmail.com. On Facebook, it's under Peoria's 'S Miss Juneteenth. If they're interested, it's for girls, like I said, 16 to 26 years old.
You said 15.
Oh, it is 16.
You said 29.
26.
28 or 29.
All the information will be on the website. No, it isn't it's 16. I think 16 started because there was a girl who was 15 who wanted to compete. And I remember she said she was 16.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
No, you're fine.
Maybe I'll make it 15 next year.
What's wrong?
Tag 2 people if you for comments. You go on twice.
Go in twice.
I say yeah.
Sure,
Unless it's the same person.
I know it's the same person.
I mean, unless you tag the same person.
Yeah. Follow Brett Brooks for next year's. So I thought it like.
And the applications can be open right now.
Okay. It is open or it's not open?
I mean, it can be when I see it.
Okay. And then, I just thought it would be cooler to be crowned on Juneteenth. Like, why do you do it so early, like picking the winner, instead of like on the actual event?
That's a great question. Because one, I want the girls already crowned and ready to go by the time the event starts. But they're also ambassadors for the Juneteenth Fest. So prior to Juneteenth, they did a few media interviews with WEEK and WMBD as well. So they're ambassadors for the event to kind of promote the Juneteenth festival that's happening. It's kind of similar to a lot of other festivals too, where they crown someone. Like the Heart of Illinois Fair crowns somebody on that Tuesday, so that way she's there for the whole week. But her term kind of ends at the end of that week. So I want them to be ready to go on Juneteenth. And then we also got to see we have the parade in the morning. And if they're crowned at like 2:00 in the afternoon, then their day is kind of shortened. Their main day is shortened.
You make that the first thing, like you do that, like.
But then what are they gonna do the next day? So leading up to Juneteenth, it makes more sense for them to have the most publicity then than to have a new crown and sash and then feel like there's nothing that they can really do afterwards. That makes sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
It sounds intimidating for a lot of people. You gotta break it down to, it sounds like a lot. You got a lot of appearances. You're in the face of the public. Like, do you see yourself possibly connecting with District 115, getting into the schools for the seniors, and like having her and yourself like talk to the girls? Yeah,
they have a full year of things to do. Like they're public servants ultimately. And so, I was working with Devin Hawks to create a Miss Manual pageant for the fall. So that's something that is actually happening. But yes, so Alicia has a mentor program. I know that we was also talking about working with Amina in the Dream Center. And so there are plenty of opportunities for them to do speaking engagements all year round.
Yeah, so with my mentoring program, I'll actually be starting next Monday is the kickoff for Southside Mission's Summer Day program. And I'll be doing my Sunflower Mentoring program there with their girls. I'll have about 70 girls. So from starting at 9, I'll have 9 and 11 on Tuesday, and then 11 and 9 and 11 and 10.
In there.
Yep. So and that's going to be 6. I think it's 6 weeks that we're going to do programming. So I'll have them split up, the younger girls on Tuesday, the older girls on Thursday, 35 each way. And I'll be working with the girls there. And I also have girls outside of the Southside mission that I'm connected with as well. So
let me know if you need help with that.
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, I got something planned.
And then also consider too, she had a few speaking engagements too prior to Juneteenth. So maybe we can do something. Well, they also presented themselves on stage too at Juneteenth. But maybe next year that's when the little girls can be crowned. So that way it's like a one and done. One and done. I got you. So that's why the pageant's ahead.
I think
that's
the full week is fun though.
Being crowned before.
Yeah, because I feel like
where all these names come from?
Yeah, it was presented to me before about doing it on Juneteenth.
It has to be something that you're interested in. If you're willing to do the whole full week of events and stuff. Like if you're not interested in stuff like this, then I'm just don't enter type stuff. But,
And also, we
because
spoke
it's
at
real
the,
time consuming, but it's worth it.
and we spoke at the gala, the Urban League Gala, the night that they won.
Oh yeah.
So they had a
I
few
like that.
things that we had already planned out prior to Juneteenth happening. So
They ain't have no
because
time
I
to
do
prep for
get
that.
that question. They knew it was coming up.
Well, we didn't. They said if you win, you're going to
The winner is
Yeah.
So that was
get to the gala. Oh, it's a lot of people here.
it was
Right.
so big.
Come on, Aubrey.
Hey, the work starts the minute you crown.
Nice.
The work starts. It was a beautiful gala. And then thanks to the Yanni. Also, the Yanni helped fund this. The Yanni was Daddy Warbucks for this too. So they are a big part of this financially putting this together. So much thanks to them as well, because this would not be possible without them. And then Heidi also helped out as well too.
Okay, Javi, employee owned stores. All right, we gotta pick the winners for the tickets.
It's me. I can tell it.
You gonna see the Zapp man.
Some of them blank. Don't think too far. He's getting this blank. Why you put the blank ones in there, Hamza?
To make it look legit.
So he is.
Am I supposed to open it?
Yeah.
Felicia Robinson.
Okay, Felicia, I'm gonna need your info to get you a ticket. Get your ticket.
I'm picking my own name.
I saw my name in there. No, you don't. I saw my name.
Girl, Amina Monet.
Don't even know us songs. I'll be on YouTube all night.
The night before, trying to figure it out.
And then she's like,
Mommy, I want us some tickets.
Oh, me too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead and pick my name, Brett.
it's empty.
Oh.
Let me see what's mine.
You can't see where yours is at. Go ahead with it.
Oh, you give out 3 tickets. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's also
Thank
empty.
you, Strictly Hip Hop.
It's empty.
Come on. For
If I get another empty one, I'm gonna play the
these
lotto
free
tonight.
tickets.
Shout out to Brett Brooks.
Shout out to Brett Brooks.
Shout out to Brett Brooks.
Sorry, Alicia.
It's okay. Better luck next time.
You're
so
Wait, I
Saturday.
We lit Saturday.
It's
They
this
all
Saturday.
get. I want you to get
This
they all
Saturday?
No,
get-
2 tickets.
Oh, is this Saturday?
Oh,
yes,
I
Saturday.
wouldn't have been able to make it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's this Saturday.
Okay.
2 tickets.
Thank
get
you.
tickets.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
August.
Strictly Hip Hop 90.7.
August is
So
something different.
also, we have a few more things
Okay.
coming up too. So this is brand new information that the girls don't know, but it's a surprise. So I'm gonna tell you right now. Can I tell you?
Okay, surprise time.
On August 4th
What's that?
at Soul Fest,
Uh-huh.
Miss Juneteenth will be able to get on stage to introduce herself at Soul Fest with Kiki White and the other person. Right.
Kiki White.
Oh my God.
Right? She's at Soul Fest, right?
Music Soul Child is
Yes.
And Kiki, I thought Kiki White was also
He
there.
is a music soul child.
Okay.
You're gonna have to let me
Yes.
hit
So we'll be on stage at
White.
Soul Fest.
You
You
don't
know, I don't
know
know
who
her.
Kiki White
I just
is?
know she skipped pregnant. I don't know her music like that.
Oh my gosh, she has.
She hit a run for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She's a musician. So yes, so we'll be at Soul Fest.
Okay.
We've been asked to be at the Heart of Illinois Fair pageant as well, and we also been asked to be at the Black Hair Expo in September too. So we
Okay.
have a pretty nice summer.
Yay.
But yeah, I want to tell you that too. So
Yes,
we
I'm
got
so
you
excited.
on Soul Fest.
Okay. Y'all gonna be on stage. That's a sold out event every year.
Is
It be so. Have you never gone?
So fast, I haven't been in a while now.
Last year was Nigel Joe.
I'm always
God.
girl. Now that's
I was so
never
happy.
mind.
I was so happy that day.
They should have had me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So
Y'all
I
gonna-
missed T. I missed
I'm
you
too
to
old
get
to be Miss Juneteenth for the next. the next one.
there. We're gonna figure out how we can get this, how we can expand. Because
Miss
I have,
elderly Juneteenth.
it might be a
You
senior.
ain't even that old to be.
But
Right,
elderly.
I'm older than her criteria.
Well, I also age out of pageants too. Some
Mhm.
pageants, you know, that's another thing too. Ages in the pageants. We have a whole
The
conversation
pageant
about
that
pageants.
she's going to July 13th. Did you talk about that? She's
Yes.
going to a pageant July 13th in East St. Louis. I'm too old for it.
Yeah,
So
the
she's
Miss
going-
Illinois Juneteenth pageant is for girls 16 to 19. And so that's why she's eligible to go to compete for
I was
that.
wondering why you said her and not her. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
the
you
one-
That was my
I was
fried
like-
rice. Go girl, go girl, go.
Fried rice is funny.
Because St. Louis
So, yeah.
fried rice, if you know, you know.
Oh, no, I
You
didn't
know,
know.
you know.
So, no, I didn't know.
You
Yeah.
got to know.
So,
You gotta get you some.
I
Gotta get you some.
well, yeah.
It's so good.
So we have a lot on our plate.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to help sponsor Amina and her journey,
Oh,
to-
hold on. We got a
Wait.
comment. Hold on.
which camera is on this? This camera.
Mariana Dewan came in kind of like he's strolling in just now, but he
Yes.
says, hey.
Oh,
Hey.
Okay.
Hi, Jessica Cannon. Jessica Cannon is also watching. Jessica is one of our angel supporters. She helped with my pageant. So hi, Jessica. So Amina is competing for the state pageant in East St. Louis, July 13th. We would like help sponsoring the competition. If you guys want to buy an ad, there's ad books from $25 up to $150 for an ad page in the booklet. Or else if you want to sponsor, the hotel, the trip, the wardrobe, the makeup, the hair, it's not an easy endeavor, which is another reason why I want to make pageants inclusive, because it's one thing that people have talked to me about too, is about the logistics of competing. It's expensive. It's not.
And we in a recession.
Yes.
Honey,
And
what?
so if you guys want to help sponsor that, we are there. Also, Alicia is speaking in East St. Louis next Sunday, next weekend. And so if you guys want to help sponsor that as well, the gas or the car to get out there, help these ladies kind of pursue their mission and keep their platform going. That's the important part about doing these pageants. But it's not an easy endeavor to do, and it's not a cheap endeavor to do. So we are looking for sponsors to help make both of these things happen.
Oh, we need to get them out there washing some cars.
Cool.
Thank you for inviting us. We appreciate you inviting us.
Wash. Y'all got Miss Juneteenth.
Not with the sashes on. These sashes were expensive.
No, that was the sad. I'm just saying, like, come take a picture with Miss Juneteenth. Have some people washing some cars. Come take a picture with Miss Juneteenth.
We could do
Raise
that.
the
Not against
money.
that. Not against it.
We could.
Not against that.
I mean, fundraising is kind of
Yes,
fun. You know what we
yes.
do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Have
but
them
physically
out there.
washing cars outside
Yeah.
In the heat.
Yeah, no, y'all ain't gotta wash the cars, but
I'll put a swimsuit on for you guys.
Work around
Hold
that.
the sign up.
Y'all definitely can find ways.
Yeah.
Make some, Miss Juneteenth pies.
I used to be a
Miss
baking
Juneteenth
pies.
Tim, I used to be a baby.
Yeah, I'm so serious. I have my own business. I am dead serious.
Really?
Yes,
Come
I
on
did.
now.
I
Yes.
could make some shirts.
Or if you guys want to buy an ad, you can buy an ad too.
Or that
For that Weird Girl podcast. It's $25 for the smallest ad. Help us on this journey.
But where's this going to be at? This ad?
It's going to be in the book that all the contestants get, the Miss Illinois Juneteenth official program book, that all the contestants and the parents and everyone is going to get at the pageant.
So it's not going to be until next year people will get this?
No, they'll get it next month. They'll get it in July.
Oh, at the one in East St. Louis.
Yes.
Oh,
At the state
so she got to be
competition.
specific. Okay, you
Yes.
can pay to get your business, grow your business outside of Peoria, and get your ad into the book for all of the contestants in the East St. Louis
Contestants, parents, anyone who's going to the pageant.
Okay, that sounds a little bit more enticing. Yes. Okay. I just might do that. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on to That Weird Girl podcast. I really enjoyed this conversation with everyone today. And that's our time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations to all the winners, courtesy of Strictly 90.7.
Cut.